It doesn't sit right with people here at the border, the way this whole thing, this private wall and private property, the way it happened.
In December 2018, frustrated by Congress's failure to fund new border wall construction, Air Force veteran Brian Kolfage launched what has become one of the largest GoFundMe campaigns in history. Now, led by Kolfage and prominent Trump allies such as Steve Bannon, We Build the Wall has raised over $25 million to build border walls on private property.
I started seeing all the heavy machinery. I'm like, wait a minute. I was sure they didn't have a permit. There was no way I could justify or even imagine that we would issue a permit for something that size.
We Build the Wall began construction over Memorial Day weekend, before any permits were issued. The city manager recently provided a timeline of events, and it was very clear that at the time the construction began, no permit had been granted nor applied for.
Okay.
Was this deliberate to kind of
Not at all.
bamboozle them a bit, or kind of blow through the process?
No, they said we were good to build. If a city employee says you're good to build through the weekend until after the holiday when the manager gets back from his vacation to sign the permit, that is what they told us. If a city employee would have said do not build, we would not have built.
They steamrolled the town of Sunland Park. It's a tiny town. There were probably more people building the wall than on the entire city staff. And on a holiday weekend, there's no one at City Hall, right? Everyone's on vacation.
You guys didn't just decide to do this the Wednesday before Memorial Day. You had been planning this for a while.
No, actually, it happened fast. It literally was. We were down here actually moving the whole mountain before this wall went up.
But I believe that you told me the last time we spoke that you guys were working for a month on this.
Yeah,
right.
That's pretty fast, from the start to finish.
But why at no point during that month did you not request a permit then?
Because we didn't have everything ready at that time. We had to wait till all our drawings and everything was done. We had to get to the environmental impact stuff. There's a lot of stuff.
Okay.
This would normally take the government 2 years to do.
The fact of the matter is, you guys did not have a permit
Correct.
granted to you, nor had you applied for one to build this wall when you began construction.
Correct.
Okay. You guys are
Well, if you
here
wanna call us
complaining
hypocritical over
about,
this.
people, you're trying to prevent people from crossing the border illegally. You're trying to protect the laws of the land. The law of the city requires that you have a permit before you begin a construction project on your property like this. So you broke the law, essentially. Am I wrong?
I don't know. I mean,
The city manager called you guys outlaws. Did you know that? How do you feel about that?
I take it with pride.
If you're building a rock wall around your backyard in Sunland Park, you need to get a permit, and it might take you a few weeks to get it. And here these people are building a huge, monumental structure with all sorts of environmental impacts without a permit from the city. I think that's really wrong. I mean, that would be wrong in any city in America. But instead of actually saying, we're sorry, we thought we had the right permits, they got very belligerent and they started jamming the phone lines, threatening physical threats to city staff and the mayor. And that's just wrong.
I did receive multiple death threats, and I believe some of my counselors received a few of them too.
We have a city councilor. We have 2 of them, where they go to the meetings, and they have their children in those meetings. And God forbid, I know they're cowards, and I know that most of it is, just talk.
The crisis that's happening on the border today is that we have a lot of families coming from Central America who are seeking asylum. And when they cross the border, wherever they can, whether it's a port of entry or a gap in the fence, they stop. They wait for Border Patrol. They don't try and escape. They want to present themselves to the authorities. So this is not an invasion. This is not a national security issue. This is a humanitarian issue.
I think there's something we both agree on.
What?
This is the wall is not the solution to this. It's not the solution.
What's
The wall's a band-aid to this problem.
What's the solution?
The solution is our politicians coming together in the middle, as they are elected to do, to get the job done, take care of the citizens here, the people who are dreamers, work on the crisis on the border. This is a band-aid. It does nothing. It does nothing to solve the problem. It alleviates it for a little bit, but doesn't solve it. But it keeps it in the forefront in the media, and that's why you're here.
It's concerning because this is just a wall. But what's going to be the next situation, the next issue? Which law that we're going to be okay with violating? We had the incident with the militia some time ago, where we had another individual saying about the immigrants, why aren't we lining them up and shooting them? I don't know who's coming here from the outside. Who's to know that they don't shoot someone within my community?
90% of us are Hispanic. Our first language is Spanish. So when they talk about them, they talk about us. They don't understand that Kate can be my grandson. And they tell us to go back, that we're not loyal to this country. I don't know any other country. I was born here. I mean, it's overwhelming, but we have to open our eyes.